After her husband is killed in action during World War II, a charming cleaning lady from London begins to obsess over a designer dress that one of her clients keeps in the closet. Have you ever seen something that you just couldn't live without? You didn't know it existed, and then once you discovered it, your entire being, every waking moment is focused on acquiring that one thing. I've been there, and so has Mrs. Harris, and that is the plot of the movie, that is a remake of a 1992 TV movie starring Angela Lansbury called Miss Harris Goes to Paris, which in itself is an adaptation of a 1958 novel of the same name. I'm clearly not into fashion. Look at me. I wear the same blue shirt every single day, except for a couple of years ago when I had a gray shirt for a little while. What I've learned is it isn't what the thing of desire is that interests me in movies like this. It is the passion it creates in the person who wants it. I had to explain this to my wife as she kept walking through as I was watching and asking me, "Are you really enjoying this movie where all they do is talk about a dress?" Mrs. Harris, even as a widower in a job where she is treated like less than, is just a ball of eternal optimism. Her character and the story, while nothing like Judi Dench in Philomena, reminds me a lot of that movie and that character. It's about an older woman who is set in her ways, and even when she's out of her element, she's going to stick her nose into everyone's business and make their lives better. The movie revolves around Mrs. Harris trying to buy a Christian Dior dress, and of course, when she tries, she is confronted by a comically pretentious fashionista who is an elitist for no good reason. Mrs. Harris doesn't care and hardly even notices. She just charms her way into Dior's fashion show and endears herself to many of his employees. From the beginning of this, I knew I was going to love it. It's just a feel-good story with some lightly whimsical elements. One of the best and most whimsical scenes comes early in the film, when Mrs. Harris keeps getting visitors to her home, and they are all there for the same reason. Leslie Glanville was just so wonderfully charming. I wasn't sure that I'd ever seen her in anything before, but it turns out I've seen her in exactly one other film, Phantom Thread, which was also about a dress. And when you are stuck in a routine that feels like a dead end, it is hard to keep your head up. You can't see the forest through the trees. You don't realize the positive impact that you have on people around you until you can step away for some me time and gain a fresh perspective. There aren't really any life-changing lessons to learn here. It's just a feel-good story that will make you want to be nice to everyone and live your life on your own terms. According to the internet, this film is most popular with women over 55, which is a demographic I am clearly not a part of. In my opinion, this film is for everyone. If you enjoy the marvelous Miss Maisel's costumes, sets, and intense pops of color, Philomena's fish-out-of-water charm, comically hateful fashionistas like in The Devil Wears Prada, and patience and wisdom of elders like Robert De Niro showed in The Intern, you will love Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. Admiring beautiful dresses, admiring more beautiful dresses, being fitted for a dress, hitching a ride home from a girl driving a car in a dress, dog racing,